In this episode of my How to Airsoft series, I will explain you how you can join your first Airsoft game and how you can get in touch with the local Airsoft community. Now before we put any effort into this, first make sure that it's allowed to play Airsoft in the country you live in. There are some countries around the globe where Airsoft is banned, such as Singapore or Australia. If you live in one of those, I'm sorry, you can't play Airsoft in there, you have to leave your country to play this awesome sport. The next thing you want to do is check if you're old enough to play the sport. Again, it depends on in which country you live in. For example, in Austria, the country I live in, it's allowed from 18 plus. In Germany, you can play Airsoft when you're 14 years old. And in America, you can play at pretty much every age as long as your parents allow it. Now, if you're lucky and you're old enough and you live in a country where Airsoft is legal, let's head on with step one. You want to find a field you can play at. Now the easiest way is if you happen to know a friend that already plays Airsoft. Just contact this guy, where he plays, when he plays, and join one of those games. Maybe you can also get some gear from him, because usually if people play Airsoft for a long time, they don't just have one gun, they have lots of different guns. So he might be able to borrow you one. Now if you don't have one of those friends, the internet is your friend. You can go to the video description of this How to Airsoft series, and there I put a huge link collection with different countries, and those links, they will redirect you to sites which are a summary of the Airsoft fields in your country. Now click on this link and look up the site and try to find an Airsoft field that's near your home. And also make sure that they have rental gear. If you find one of those, you're totally fine. Just go to this field, bring some basic stuff like high boots that protect your ankles from twisting. Also bring some clothes that protect you from the BBs in some way, so don't wear really tight clothes. Try to wear some relaxed clothes like baggies and a hoodie. On those fields they have everything for you. They will have a safety guy, they will introduce you to the sport, they will give you a gun, magazine, ammunition, battery, everything you need. And what's very important, they will give you a proper safety gear. So you will get a lower face protection and goggles. Now if you can't find the country you live in the video description below, look up the internet for the following words: Airsoft field and the country you live in. Now if you do so, you will find different search results. It will contain Airsoft shops, then Airsoft club web pages. There will also be Airsoft forums from your country, and there will also be Airsoft fields. All those links, all those URLs are full with helpful information for you as an Airsoft beginner. But for now, we're looking to try to find a field for you, so you just open all the field links. What you're trying to find is a field that's near your home, and they should also have rental gear. Because for the first Airsoft games, you don't really want to buy any gear, because you don't want to end up spending $300 for a sport you don't even know if you like it. So if you find one of those fields, it will be very easy for you to start. Just go there, again, bring some boots, bring some comfortable clothes, and that's it. They will explain everything for you at those fields. Again, the Airsoft community all over the world is very different. For example, in California, it will be very easy for you to start the sport, because there are Airsoft fields all over the place, and most of them also rent out gear for you. So you just have to go there to start the sport. In Austria, the country I live in, the community is kind of different. We also have commercialized fields, but they're very rare. So if I want to go to a game, I have to drive at least 5 hours by car to get there. We have a different kind of community. We have lots of Airsoft clubs, and those clubs, they host private games on their own fields. Now in order to join one of those games, you have to contact this club and introduce yourself. Now if you're in the same situation as I am and you can't find a local Airsoft field around, you have to contact one of those clubs. Just leave them a mail, introduce yourself, tell them who you are and tell them your situation. Just explain you're new to Airsoft, you want to try the sport, you have no idea where to start, and those people will usually help you because they want to grow their Airsoft club and they want to grow the whole sport. Those Airsoft clubs might also be able to rent you some gear. If not, you can ask some of the members, because usually people who play the sport for a long time, they have lots of gear and lots of guns, so they will be able to equip you for the first game. Now, if none of this helped and you couldn't find an airsoft club and also not an airsoft field, you can look for airsoft shops. Just go there and ask them how you can get in touch with the local airsoft community. Because people who work in the airsoft industry always have kind of a clue what's going on right now and where you can play a game. Also, a quick side note, if you're playing your first airsoft game, I would not recommend to go to a milsim. For those people who don't know what's a milsim, it means military simulation. And usually a military simulation goes on for more than just one day, so it's way more difficult because you have to get together your sleeping gear, you have to bring food for several days, and also they have sometimes uniform restrictions and gun restrictions. So it's just way more complicated. Stick with a simple pickup game at a local field if it's possible. So I hope this video provided you with some valuable information on how to start airsoft, and if you want to know more on which gear and gun you should buy after you decided to go all in, stay tuned for the series in Will Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes of this series. So see you next time.